Good time today? This is like fulfilling a bucket list thing for me, by the way. Man, what a fun thing. So as Courtney said, my name is Jon Dunn. I do work for Best Friends Animal Society. For those of you that may not know who we are, we're a national animal welfare organization. We're based in Utah, where we operate the nation's largest no-kill animal sanctuary for abused and abandoned pets. We operate large city-based programs in Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, and New York City. But there's a good chance that some of you guys may know us for a different reason. I started July of 2007, or June of 2007, July of 2007. I'd been there exactly 1 month. The CEO at the time called me and he said, "John, we've got to save the Vic dogs." So in case you are not familiar with the story somehow, a several-month-long investigation uncovered unspeakable crimes at the aptly named Bad News Kennels. Over 70 dogs were seized, most pit bull terrier type dogs. They at the time were being called some of the most aggressive dogs in the country. It was only 7 years ago, but the challenges facing dogs from fight busts were much greater than they are today. Standard practice was to euthanize all of them, no matter what, fearing they were too damaged to be saved. Even some of the major national animal welfare organizations endorse euthanasia. Best Friends disagreed. We knew then what we know today, that every dog is an individual and deserves to be treated as such. We wrote a letter to petition the court and ultimately won the right to have every dog individually evaluated. A special court-appointed lawyer recommended the toughest cases live at the Best Friends Sanctuary in Utah, where the journey to rehabilitation began. It wasn't easy. We had the eyes of the world upon us. Some of the dogs would flatten themselves like pancakes to avoid being noticed. Others would threaten their trainers or even the other dogs. Many needed medical attention as carriers of the blood-borne illness babesia, all too common in dogs with fighting backgrounds. But like every animal in the care of Best Friends, they received every bit of training, vet care, compassion, and emotional healing they were in need of. Now, as of today, I'm thrilled to be able to report to you that 12 have been adopted. 1 is in a foster-to-adopt home. 6 more are living in group runs at our sanctuary. That means with other dogs, something that many said could not be done. 5, sadly, have since passed away, but not before they were able to prove to the world that every dog is an individual. Now, as I said, these dogs were supposed to be some of the most aggressively trained dogs on planet Earth at that time. Dogs that, according to conventional wisdom, were far too dangerous to be let out into society. We knew that these dogs, given the media attention alone, could become spokes dogs for every pit bull terrier type dog out there. An example for every dog from a fight bust, every dog anywhere that faces discrimination. These 22 dogs could change hearts and minds, and they've done just that. And that's why today, we don't call them the Vic dogs anymore. We call them the victory dogs.
Wow.
More than 4 million pets are killed every year in our nation's shelters. The vast majority of these animals are not sick, they're not injured, they're not aggressive. They are simply animals who have been dealt a bad hand in one way or another. Animals who in other circumstances could be sleeping on couches or chasing tennis balls in homes just like yours or mine. Pit bull terrier type dogs are dealt an especially bad hand. Some cities, including more than 20, almost 30 here in Michigan, have breed discriminatory legislation on the books. Some shelters have blanket policies of their own, either banning pit bull adoption entirely or setting ridiculous and unreasonable adoption requirements, such as 6-foot fences in order to be able to adopt a pit bull terrier type dog. The media does nothing to help these dogs either, except the local media that's here today. Thank you. Most media with their rampant sensationalism. But the truth is the vast majority of Americans do not want to see these dogs discriminated against. Best Friends commissioned Luntz Global for a study, and what we found is very obvious, at least to us. 84% of those surveyed believe Americans should be allowed to own whatever breed of dog they choose, and we agree. Breed discrimination will always fail because it violates basic property rights, it focuses on the wrong thing, it's arbitrary, it's expensive, it's ineffective, and ultimately it's just not practical. In 2007, the city of St. Paul, Minnesota smartly passed an ordinance targeting reckless dog owners. St. Paul pet owners, cited more than once for abusing or neglecting an animal, cannot legally own another pet under that ordinance. The law targets pet owners who train their dogs to fight. It targets puppy mill operators and reckless dog owners. Any reckless owner reckless dog owners cannot register a new animal if their dogs are removed twice in a 5-year span. Owners, however, that do the right thing and opt to have their dogs fixed pay a lower licensing fee. Responsible dog owners should have the right to own whatever breed of dog they choose, and reckless owners should be prohibited from owning dogs. It's that simple. Best Friends has been actively fighting breed discriminatory legislation, and last year alone, we were able to pass bills that outlaw breed discrimination in 5 states, including Utah and South Dakota. It's time to make Michigan next.
Hoorah!
Best Friends will be working alongside activists in Michigan every step of the way through this process. We'll be there for committee hearings using our Action Alert platform to pressure lawmakers, and I am thrilled to be able to announce to you today that we are hiring a contract lobbyist to help make Michigan the 20th state to ban breed discrimination. A lobbyist is a crucial piece of the puzzle if we are to get a bill to pass here. So I invite all of you to stop by our booth. It's down there. It's where all the orange is. You can stop by our booth before the end of the day today. Please sign up for our Action Alert platform. It's the easiest way for you to help in this fight as we go along through this legislative process. Whether your voice is needed for a committee hearing, a vote on the floor of the House or the Senate, we'll let you know right away and provide a very easy way for you to take action and email your lawmakers directly. Discriminating against a dog solely based on how they look is plain wrong, and it does nothing to create safer communities. Passing this bill will save the lives of thousands of dogs in the state of Michigan. I'm proud to be a Michigan transplant and stand behind you as together we make Michigan next. Thank you.
Jon Dunn.